Good afternoon from Los Angeles and happy Thursday. It's Alyssa Quorum and Ken Shreve here with a look at the stock market today. And on today's show, we're going to be taking a look at AMD, Ciena, and ServiceNow. But before we do that, let's talk about the major indexes. We were able to extend our gains today. The Nasdaq up about 0.5%, the S&P 500 up 0.6%, the Dow up 0.7%. So we're continuing to add to our gains here.
Yeah, we are 4 days into a rally attempt for the Dow, 3 days for the Nasdaq Composite and S&P 500. So the market is still not out of the woods yet, but nice gains again for the market today. The Russell 2000 was down sharply. It has recovered almost all the way back to break even, but positive sentiment in the afternoon fueled by Mexican tariff news. Apparently talks are going well. They're set to resume today. I just saw at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, so there's talk that possibly these tariffs will be delayed. They're set to take effect June 10th, so that brought a little buying into the market, and we're getting a nice close here.
Well, and this is a very headline-driven market, and something that will be expanded on more in our recent podcast episode that just dropped this week is the fact that when you see sell-offs like this, the first follow-through day, which, you know, we're seeing positive action here, may not always work, and then you have that added volatility or concern with the headline-driven nature of the market lately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bottom line is anytime you do see a follow-through day, and the big picture's talking about a follow-through day and a confirmation of a new market uptrend, you always want to look at that, alongside what do charts of leading growth stocks look like in the market. Are there setups out there that could possibly take advantage of the newfound market uptrend? Are there a lot of stocks finding support at the 10-week moving average? So, by what I've been looking at, there are still plenty of decent charts out there, especially stocks finding support at the 10-week line. So that gives some credence to the bull argument. But we'll have to see what tomorrow looks like. We've got a big jobs report tomorrow morning, so the market, who knows how it will react to it, but it could be a market mover.
Exactly. Well, let's take a look at a few individual names, starting with AMD in the chip space, gaining 8% today. Morgan Stanley upgrading it to equal weight from underweight. So a breakout here for AMD when a lot of chip stocks have been pretty beaten down.
Well, the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index in the month of, May was down almost 17% in 1 month. So there are very few, bullish-looking charts in the chip sector. The exception is advanced micro devices. I mean, this was a really powerful breakout today. Very crisp, identifiable buy point at 30.05. Good close near highs today. Strong volume. Earlier this week, AMD announced a partnership with Samsung regarding some of their graphics chips for mobile video games, and a nice upgrade from Morgan Stanley today. So this was just a bona fide breakout. Really looks like the lone wolf right now in the semiconductor sector, but bullish technical action today.
That's right, and something to weigh, because we are always talking about how you want to be buying leading stocks from leading groups, right? Yeah. So something to consider.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're looking at stocks to buy, you do want to see broad leadership in a group. That certainly is not the case right now in the chip sector, but sometimes you get an opportunity with AMD, strong breakout, and this does have kind of a look of a turnaround story. You've got big annual estimates here. The company's got a lot of new chip products, a lot of new graphics cards that the market is very optimistic about, and you see that in the annual estimates for AMD for this year and next year. Big growth expected, so that one could work.
All right, well, we are still waiting for that official follow-through day, so still treat your portfolio with caution when it comes to making new buys.
Yeah, I mean, technically the market is still in a correction, and we're seeing some good price action. 4 wins in a row for the Dow, 3 for the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, but we'll just have to wait for that signal and then see what's out there to buy. That's
right. Well, let's quickly touch on Ciena, which saw a huge move today, gaining about 27% in heavy volume, breaking out over a 40.86 buy point here. And it had come all the way down to its 200-day line. And now this big move on earnings with strong growth on the top and bottom lines, and beating expectations and also a solid outlook.
Yeah, I mean, this is a stock that was not looking all that great headed into its report, but a big earnings and sales beat, and also pretty good guidance for the rest of this year. So Ciena, they make hardware, software that basically helps manage the flow of video and data over communications networks. But they were pretty bullish on earnings for the rest of the year, and this was another solid breakout. You had to be quick on this one because it got extended
right.
pretty quickly, but a good, powerful move, and great day for Ciena.
That's right, and we are seeing software stocks holding up nicely here. Many came down to their 50-day or 10-week lines, but we're seeing names like ServiceNow successfully testing support at that level.
Yeah, I like the look of ServiceNow. We've got so many enterprise software stocks in the IBD 50, names like Viva Systems, Upland Software, Paycom. All of these stocks are showing really good action around the 10-week moving average. So they broke out of a base. They're just pulling back to this key support level and finding support. So ServiceNow is a member of Leaderboard that's been a great performer for us. We're still encouraged by its price action as it gets support. This is a daily chart showing recent support at the 50-day moving average. So it's not just ServiceNow though. Like I said, Paycom and Upland and Viva, a lot of good bounces off support. So I know the people that are still want to be bullish on this market and think we could get a follow-through day sooner rather than later. They like to see this type of action in these leading growth stocks.
That's right. Zscaler as well, which is actually mentioned in our podcast episode, the Investing with IBD show. We have a new episode that drops every Thursday, so make sure you go check that out. You can visit investors.com/podcast for all the details on that. We have Justin Nielsen, who is another co-host on this show.
He's in this seat a lot.
Exactly, joining Arusha to talk about follow-through days and how you should really be handling your portfolio in anticipation of a new market uptrend. So really good stuff, so make sure you go check that out. And you can also check out our content across social media, whether that's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter. Thanks again so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.